I'm Jack.
I'm Tangy.
This is Freedom Homestead. Welcome. Glad to have everybody with us tonight. And we're going to give everybody just a few minutes to join. And let's see, I gotta get this going on the laptop here so we can see what we got. Here we go.
How's everybody doing? Yours has we're using his computer tonight, so seems like the lag is a little bit longer than usual.
Yeah, I don't know. We may have to work a few kinks out of it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But hello, Rebecca and Lisa and Country Homestead Preacher. Glad you're here. Well, hello, Shanna.
Hello, hello.
And there's Karen's Garden. Hey, Carol. Homegrown Wife is here. Hello. Glad to see everybody joining us tonight. How are y'all doing on this Monday evening? And how is the weather where you are? It was very cool here this morning. It was lovely.
It looks like, let me look up,
Hey,
do that.
Jennifer. Hey,
About
Nancy.
about a 5 second lag on what
Okay.
we're getting here.
Hey, Mandy. Oh, and there is Miss Emily. How are you? Hello, Wendy. Hope everybody is doing well. Mary Ellen, hello. Hello, Goldie from
see
Fort
that
Worth,
okay?
Texas. Ooh, 29 where Jennifer is.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
was
When we
very cool
woke
this
up this morning, it was probably in the 40s. And then
Yeah, it felt cooler than that though.
it was in the mid 40s, then it got up to the mid 50s and mid 60s by the middle of the day. But I love that type of weather. I love
Hey, Cliff.
fall. Fall's my favorite time of the year.
Mine too. I love it. But yeah, it was really nice and cool. And this evening, Jack he smoked some of the best
Yes.
pork chops
Yeah.
I think I've ever had ever.
That's probably been besides the brisket. The brisket and the pork chops have turned out the best in the smoker.
Yeah, pork chops are I think hands down my favorite so far.
There's Jump Off A.
It was so
Yeah,
good.
there's let's see.
I also roasted a.
We got several of our moderators joining us.
Yes.
Mandy,
Cliff.
Serenity Hill Farm.
Yep. That's
There's
Cliff
Ivy
and Jennifer.
Acres.
I know. I've already said hello to
Oh,
Emily.
okay. Sorry. And I will say I tried to call Travis, the number you gave me, and I just got a voicemail. So I left him a message.
Hello, Flavors and Textures, and Farmer Meemaw. Hey.
Hey, Farmer Meemaw. It's been a long time since we've
She was on
talked
here.
with you.
No, she was on here last week.
Well, really? Okay. Sorry.
It just seems that way.
It seems that way.
Yeah. Boots and Bounty had so they grilled out and had a bonfire.
Yeah.
Hey, Little Feet Farm.
Yeah, I love cooler weather because you can have bonfires, campfires, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's camping weather.
All the cool weather things.
Leaves start changing colors. So that's what's going on in
Yes.
our neck of the woods, and that's why we titled our video Preparing for Cold Season.
Yep.
And last
Hey,
week we
Dana.
actually talked about the fire cider that you're making.
Yes.
And so it's got, what, 3 more weeks
Yes.
before it's done?
Yep. So I made it exactly a week ago. It's supposed to brew for 4 weeks, and so we still have about 3 weeks before we can start taking it. But we literally just got our mail today. Our sweet poor little mail lady, when she came the last time she came, I was telling her that something that I had ordered from Amazon came to our little town post office, and then for some reason went to Alabama. And then it came back to our small town post office, and then for some reason went to Tennessee. And she's like, well, that doesn't sound right. I'm like, I'm just going by the tracking.
Good thing it wasn't a mail-in vote. Well, let's not go there. Yeah, let's go there.
And anyway, and she said, we are so short-staffed. She said, just in our little post office, several of our mail carriers are, sick or having surgeries. And so she's having to work 6 days a week. And so she literally just dropped the mail off after 7 o'clock this evening, which is very late. But anyway.
Somebody said fire what? And then Nancy says fire cider.
Fire
Yeah,
cider.
Fire cider.
So fire cider is a tonic that you make with a lot of healthy, hot ingredients, which is why it's called fire cider.
Well, and
spicy.
we have not made it
We've
until
not-
this. I
yes.
mean, this will be our first time making this
But
and
it is
trying it.
It is a homeopathic tonic that is a preventative. It is supposed to helps to build your immune system and prevent you from getting things like the cold and flu. And it has a lot of other wonderful medicinal properties. And there's several different ways that you can make it. But the way that I chose to make it was, ours has homegrown jalapenos, onions, lemon balm, rosemary, thyme, garlic, lots of garlic. And then you cover it in raw apple cider vinegar with the mother. And then you let it steep for 4 weeks. You shake it every day. And then after 4 weeks, you can strain it. You strain all the chunks out of it, and then you take doses every day of the liquid that is left.
But
like
by
a
a dose,
tablespoon.
it's what a tablespoon.
A tablespoon.
Is gonna be a dose.
And also before you do that, you also put in honey to sweeten it.
Honey.
To taste. And of course, honey in itself is
Yes.
naturally medicinal. So anyway, so to add to that, I just got in my elderberry.
Well, no, we're not adding this to the fire cider.
Adding it to our regimen.
We're also preparing this for the preventative cold and flu season.
That's what I'm saying. We're adding it to our preventative regimen. So anyway, so I'm going to be making some elderberry syrup.
Yes.
And this
is what I'm looking forward to.
This is not a beverage. You just take a couple of tablespoons a day.
We'll see.
You take
It's
a couple
very
of
good.
tablespoons a day as a preventative, but then if you do get sick, there's also a lot of properties in it that will help you to get better quicker. So anyway.
Hello, Kathy. We were able to catch part of your show earlier and really enjoyed it.
See, lemon balm would be great in the fire cider. Yes, I'm hoping that it... Oh, and I also put lemons in it too. But I've got lemon balm, lemon, garlic, jalapenos, onions, rosemary, thyme.
So
And
it should open you up.
Vinegar, yes.
With everything that's in it, it should open you up. And yeah, it's probably not something you're going to be able to drink a lot of anyway.
No.
So, just a tablespoon of it.
Oh, I also put some ginger in it too.
I'm hoping we'll be able to get it down.
Yeah, I also put some ginger in it too. And that's what the honey is for, is to help you.
It sounds really potent.
Help you to get it down. Yes.
Yeah. See what we
So
got.
anyway, but yeah, so that's what we're doing. I've also got some On Guard from doTERRA.
Emily says she needs that recipe.
Oh yes, I will. Well, I mean, I watched a whole bunch of different videos. Are you talking about the elderberry syrup?
I thought they were asking about the fire cider.
Or yeah, I mean with the fire cider, I just watched a whole bunch of different videos and read a whole bunch of different blogs.
There's your link for the making the fire cider.
Yeah, I don't really share the recipe per se. I just
so that's not going to
it.
help with everything in it.
Yeah, but as far as the elderberry syrup, I've got a few different recipes that I'm going to kind of put together and make. So.
But yeah, so I mean the seasons are changing.
Yeah.
It's starting to get cooler, and so with all the sickness everybody's been talking about the entire year, we just want to prevent as much as possible. As far as just, I know myself and some of our, at least one of our kids, we always end up having sinus. I have a lot of sinus and allergy issues. I guess you could call it that, sinus infections or whatever. And so it really hits this time of year when the leaves change and just everything starts dying down. and the cold wind, it just really stops me up. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that between all the remedies that we are concocting, that it will definitely help kind of keep things open.
Right. And to our meals, I'm trying to make sure that we have foods that are loaded in vitamin C. Also, well, I had a piece of sourdough bread with my meal, but I'm hoping to add more fermented foods to our diet to help with
There's Heaven's Essentials.
boosting our gut health so we have a stronger immune system.
Yeah, it is all the dust and mold from the leaves and everything.
Here's what I know is that's going to be in the elderberry syrup. It's going to be the elderberries, of course. I've got cinnamon sticks, cloves, ginger, and then it will be sweetened with, I've got some raw honey.
And I don't know, do you want to respond to that
See,
question?
do I always use doTERRA? I've got Young Living hookup if you ever need essential oils. No, I have no loyalty to essential oil brands. In fact, there is a company that I'm going to try that is very inexpensive, and it's not an MLM. So I'm going to give that a try and see how we like it. But yeah, I'm just trying to. I don't want anybody to get sick and be sick for a long time. I hate going to the doctor. Like, I have to be dying to go to the doctor, and I don't want.
She does.
To get to that
She's, you know, if I get really sick, I mean, if I start feeling bad, I'll go to the doctor, because if I don't, then I'm going to be in bed for a week trying to get over it myself, and it puts me so behind with work. I just rather go to the doctor, get a shot, get some pills, be back at work within 24 hours, and keep going. But, you know, she's just the opposite.
Well, my thing is, I'm eventually going to get over it. I'm going to get over it without having to take anything from the doctor.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I will eventually get over it, but I don't want to. I can't spend a week in bed to do it, because it gets me so far behind.
Yeah.
It takes me a month to catch up.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. But also, with that said, I hardly ever get sick. I mean, I might get sick once or twice a year, if that. Kelly said I'm a nurse and I never go to the doctor. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's probably something to your job too, being around that stuff all the time. I bet you build up a pretty good
Immune
resistance.
system, yeah.
Kind of like school teachers and postal workers and stuff. They're kind of around some all that stuff all the time.
I love this. Kingdom Artist said, I use oregano oil, essential oils on my feet nightly, but I smell like spaghetti sauce for a little while. Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. I am definitely one that does not go to the doctor and believes that your body will take care of it in due time. Yes. And
I mean, I believe that.
Yeah.
It's just,
you just want to get over it quicker.
I want to get over it.
Yeah.
I'm very impatient.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just a big fault of mine, but
Yeah.
I'm very impatient.
Yeah. And I would much rather
You're
get
more
over
patient.
it. Yes, and I would rather get over it naturally. But see, that's how I was.
Kingdom Artist is a dental hygienist.
That's how I was
Yeah.
raised though. My parents, we didn't go to the doctor unless we like really, really needed it.
Hello, Mike.
Hey, Mike. But yeah, my parents didn't take us to the doctor unless everything that they have tried is not working and we're not getting better. Like, if you stay the same, that's one thing. If you gradually get better, that's another. But if you're getting worse, that's different. But
I see Money Pit Homestead on here now.
Well, hey.
Yeah, we've kind of got their whole
so good for the
different
immune
pieces of their family
system.
all joining us.
Yeah, that's awesome. So did you guys catch our video with Wilderness Survival Simplified? We've got another one coming up.
We do. It'll probably be posted maybe tomorrow or something.
Tomorrow?
But yeah, we're going to diverge just a second here, and then we'll get back to cold weather things that we're trying to get set up. But if Wilderness Survival Simplified is on here, that is our good friend Mike,
and our pastor,
a very
as well.
dear friend of ours. We've known him for years, and anyway, we did a video with him. We posted yesterday, and he is such a great teacher when it
He really
comes
is. He's a
to
natural
kind of
teacher.
outdoor wilderness skills, bushcrafting, survival skills, you know, all that cool stuff. So it was fun to have him come over and actually show us how to just take a pot, just an old tin pot, any kind of regular, you know, you can use a coffee can, you know, but it was cool to just, for him to show us how to bake inside of it. We were going to bake bread,
Yeah.
but then we found out, you know, you just made a big drop biscuit.
Yeah, well, I did. That was because of poor planning on my part. It was one of those things where we knew we wanted to do a video. We kind of knew what we wanted to be about, but we didn't know who was going to be doing what. And so they're here, and it's like, okay, are we baking bread? Sure. Do you have some already going? No. So I'm like, okay, well, let's think of something that'll cook faster.
But if you want to, if you want to learn a new skill on how to cook, like if the grid goes down, if your power goes out, if you're just out and,
Hey, Diana.
and you've got food pantry items preserved, but you need to learn how to cook them in a different way, this was a super easy way. It worked great.
Yeah, I'd never seen the keyhole method done, and
Keyhole fire.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah,
really neat.
so yeah, watch that video if you haven't checked it out. Mike was an excellent teacher, kind of describing the whole process, and it turned out really well. And we will have another video with him coming out here either tomorrow or the next day, where he's just kind of doing a tutorial going over. Again, it's more bushcrafting or wilderness survival stuff. Fire starter kits, things you need if you know.
Like your everyday carry kind of stuff.
Yeah, and if in wilderness survival, fire is very essential, and you need to know how to make fire. You need to know different ways, different methods, and so he really describes that really well. So we had a sit down with him. He goes over everything, things that he recommends, things that he doesn't recommend, and then really alternative ways to just make your own stuff.
Yeah, and what I found really interesting was he shared some of the products that have different uses that you probably wouldn't think of.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so really going to be really informative. Definitely get the kids watching it. Get them outside. Try the keyhole fire. That's definitely something I would say ages 7, 8, and up.
If you've got some children or grandchildren
supervision.
that if you've got some children or some of you maybe grandchildren or you know and you want to teach your kids how to cook something like that outside, this was a really great way to teach them and it's simple.
Right. And he
Easy,
also,
simple.
in that video, he showed where you can take some green sticks that are kind of thick and use it as like a rack. So if you don't have something that you can use to bake in right away, maybe just try that method and then do some hot dogs or, you know, something quick that you can do on the green wood.
And he is starting a YouTube channel. He has no videos posted yet, but he is desperately wanting to do this. We're going to help him kind of set some of that up. And so, you know, if you want to hit, the link is in that video we posted yesterday to his channel. So if people get subscribed when he starts doing some of his videos, you'll get them.
Yeah, there's absolutely no content yet.
Yeah.
Yet. But you want to go ahead and subscribe so when he starts loading stuff,
it'll be ready to go.
It'll be ready. So, but yeah, very cool, and
we're very thankful that he was willing to come over and do that with us, and kind of, I guess you could call it a collaboration, but it was really all him.
Yeah.
So anyway,
a couple of people are talking about the nutritional yeast. I will say that nutritional yeast has more of a cheesy flavor if it's not cooked. There was just a very mild kind of cheesy flavor. It was more garlicky than anything, But, you know, one thing that's very real in a grid down situation when you're eating from your pantry is, what is it? What's the term I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Where you get tired of eating the same thing over and over. There's an actual term for that and it slipped my mind. But anyway, you get tired of eating the same thing over and over. And so having things to flavor your food, to flavor your food storage is important.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, not monotonous, food fatigue. That's it.
Food fatigue.
Food fatigue.
Okay.
That is a real
Okay.
thing. Yes.
So that's when you eat the same thing so much, you just get sick of eating it?
Yes, pretty much.
I've learned something tonight.
Yes.
I didn't know that
the
there was a
children of
term for that.
Like the children of Israel, yes. Like Emily said, you know, in the Bible, whenever they had manna and then they got tired of the manna
Yeah.
and they started complaining about the manna, so then God gave them quail. Of course, they started complaining about that too. But I think that's before you get to starving. I think when you get to like actually starving, that's a whole different thing. But when you're just eating the same foods over and
Yeah.
over, the fatigue is real.
So let's get back to the cold weather things that we're trying to kind of prepare for. One is our health. You know, we're kind of getting some nice
Thank you, Kathy.
home remedies just to boost our immune system, to keep us at least ahead of the game.
Yes.
And then if we do get something, if we do, you know, come down with a bad case of the sniffles or something like that, we at least maybe we'll get over it quicker. So
That's the hope. That's the hope.
that's the hope. Get ahead of the game, boost our immune system, and then if we do get sick, hopefully get through it faster. And so also with the weather changing, we're trying to figure out what to do, I guess, with our garden area and our chicken coop area. We have a little bit more to do out here.
Yes.
To kind of get that ready before the weather just flat out turns cold.
Definitely. Definitely.
We're gonna I'm gonna try to move the coop a little bit closer to the garden area, and we're hoping that, you know, as long as the weather is still cooperating, we can try to start during the daytime getting our chickens in the garden area.
Yes.
Letting them kind of do their thing
Yeah.
in the garden.
Well, to fertilize and to aerate
Yeah,
and to
scratch it up.
eat the bugs
Yeah.
and do all that awesome
Take
stuff.
care of the weeds, and then we want to try to get them in a routine of doing that.
Yeah.
We still plan on getting a better net
Uh-huh.
and fixing that up just a little bit better.
Uh-huh.
And then let's see, we here in 2 or 3 weeks we're going out of town for a weekend, aren't we?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So when we get back from that, we will probably, I don't know. There's still an item that we're saving up for that I really want to get.
What's that?
A generator.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Now, we've talked about this before. I think if you are a homeowner, if you have a small, well, I just think a generator is a really good thing to have backup power supply.
Definitely.
You know, if there's bad weather and it knocks the power out, if there's a bad storm and knocks the power out.
Vicky.
Some of you may live in Tornado Alley. Some of you may live near hurricane areas, near water. It's just, you just never know what could happen. Some of you may live in California where they just have a terrible power grid anyway because they have terrible regulations and haven't built any new power lines in ages. So rolling blackouts are a real thing out west. So, you know, I want us to, if we can, if things keep going the way they're going, I think we'll be able to get one this winter.
Yeah. Jennifer said, get a bigger one than what you think you would need.
Yeah, I've got to do some research on that too.
So Nancy asked, is there a way to can fire cider? I keep it made up, but want some in storage. I would say that the short answer to that is no, just because the processing will kill the beneficial properties of
Yeah.
your cider.
Didn't think about that.
The good thing is, it will keep in your refrigerator for a long time.
Kathy says she just Googled
Yeah.
fire cider, has an 18-month shelf life at stable room temperature.
Yeah, and
That's really good to know.
that's because of it's the vinegar. I mean, vinegar
Yeah.
keeps forever. So yeah.
Yeah, so
And I would think the same thing with elderberry syrup. I mean, unless you're going to use the syrup on pancakes, it would be nice to have some that is shelf stable. But I think if you're wanting to take it medicinally, then you don't. I think is it once you heat it past 140, you start to lose some of the medicinal properties. I think that's what I heard today. But but yeah. But that's an excellent question though, because that's one thing that I'm not 100% sure on some things is at what point, like with heating, do you start to lose the good stuff? Let's see. Harbor Freight had an 8750 generator for $535. Wow, that's a very reasonable.
Three Basket Living. Thank you. Cat makes that's a very reliable brand. They
night,
make
Kingdom
generators. I have had my eye on some Harbor Freight generators. I know they're more of a low end, I guess, quality, but they have really good reviews. And I'm a big fan of Harbor Freight.
Hey, Monica.
Let's see, who was it? Cat Lover says they have a generator. But they've never really had to use it, but they do start it up every couple of months.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And so, yeah, I'd rather have one and not use it than to need it and not have it.
Right.
That goes with a lot of things.
Yeah.
Fire extinguisher.
Right.
Firearms. Smoke detector. Yeah, and a generator. But yeah, we have a deep freezer that we like to keep our meat in. If we've been thinking, we were talking with Mike yesterday about getting some beef going in and getting like a quarter of a beef cow and stuff like that. Yeah, we probably do. Maybe some deer meat again this winter. Just I would hate for our power to go out and us lose all that meat.
Right.
You just got a bunch of chicken that you put in there yesterday.
Hey, Morris Patch. Well, no, I didn't put it in. Well, I mean, I did put it in there yesterday. I bought that 40-pound box from the Amish salvage store of boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and I took it out. I let it thaw just enough that I could get it apart and put it in smaller packages, but a lot of that's going to end up getting canned. I love having home canned chicken. Because it makes it
tastes really great.
Yeah, it makes the chicken really tender. It makes its own broth. But the best thing is you can cook some really good food in just a matter of minutes. And you don't have to worry about the power going out because it's shelf stable.
Lisa made your bread and butter jalapenos a couple weeks ago. They're hot. Left all the seeds in them, but they're good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I did it too. I left all the seeds in it.
But yeah, they do taste good.
Yeah.
But they still have some heat in them.
Yes. Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I ate mine a little too early. I opened it like less than 24 hours after I canned it, but it was so good.
Heaven's Essentials has they have a generator that's a hybrid. It will run on gas or propane.
Oh, cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
We have two propane stoves. They're the Coleman. They look like a big suitcase or a briefcase. It's the old Coleman camp stoves that has two burners. They were made to run on Coleman fuel. It's got a little gas tank, and you put the Coleman fuel, and you have to pump it up like the old Coleman lanterns, if you're familiar with that style. But you can easily convert these Coleman fuel stoves to propane. And so I've converted on both to run on the little green propane tanks that you can buy for maybe $3 a piece or $4 a piece, something like that, and they sell them at, you know, Walmart, Rural King, Harbor Freight. You can get that stuff anywhere, and so that's what we have as backups, and also what we take camping. Sometimes we just get it out and fire them up out back. But anyway.
Yeah. Country Homestead Preacher says, do y'all do meat rabbits? Not yet. It's on the list.
It's on the list.
But I think we might do meat chickens first.
Yeah, we're thinking about that. We're leaning towards meat chickens.
Hopefully this spring.
We're kind of leaning that way first.
Well, we were actually talking to Mike at Wilderness Survival Simplified. Yes, I got it.
When the new video comes out, I left.
Oh no! What did you do?
So tomorrow, when probably tomorrow afternoon or whenever it might be that we post this other video, you got to watch it till the end, because I kind of left, I guess, the bloopers at the end, and she has a really hard time saying his channel.
Yeah.
Wilderness Survival Simplified.
Wilderness Survival Simplified. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, we were talking about maybe going in together and getting a chicken plucker.
Yep. So that's a very big
yeah.
possibility, and
Yeah.
meat
So we'll
chickens
see.
are great. Yeah.
Thank you, North Star.
Do y'all do meat chickens, Money Pit? Just wondering.
Somebody said that they do.
Because-
Country Homestead Preacher said they're as good as chickens for them. Easier to clean.
What, the rabbits?
The rabbits.
Yeah. Rabbits are very clean and easy.
Yes, and I like having, I think the beauty of homesteading from a prepper perspective is that you have food on hoof and, basically food on demand. You don't have to worry about storage. You just got to worry about keeping them alive. And the great thing with rabbits is they produce quickly, reproduce quickly.
Did you see Lisa's video about lids and jars not being available until March?
No, but I will say that I did buy some lids at Walmart last week. There were 10 boxes, but I didn't buy all of them, and maybe I should have, but I didn't want to be that guy, so I left half of what they had, and I bought the rest of them. Let's see. And actually, Mike got me some Tadler lids, and y'all, I haven't
Money
used them
Pit
yet.
says you've not watched many of our videos. Yeah, I did. I think I did watch a video where they all came over and had a big family
They're too cute.
meat chicken processing, but
funny.
I didn't know if that's something y'all regularly did. It's something we really want to get into and learn how to do, and it would be good if we could go visit somebody and see and help them do this, just to get us familiar with it.
Yeah. And actually, when I was at Walmart Saturday when I went to get groceries, they actually had 2 things of jelly jars, ball jelly jars. I didn't buy those either. I just left them there. I'm probably gonna kick myself for it later, I'm sure. Let's see. Nancy said we do meat chickens each year. I'll be retiring to my property in North Central Arkansas soon. Can't be soon enough, and we'll be looking. That is awesome, Vicki.
That's cool.
Very, very cool. Congratulations. But yeah, I saw Poor Valley said my wife won't let me get rabbits because they're too cute.
Well, yeah, and we're kind of set up where it wouldn't be very hard for us to get into some rabbits.
No, actually, Mike gave us some rabbit cages.
We have some rabbit cages. So I don't know, it's just like we're leaning towards the chickens first.
Yeah. That may be a mistake, though. We might need to do rabbits
I don't
first.
know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. We might do it all at the same time.
We try to add to what we're doing a little bit each year. We tried to, the off season we call winter. We call that the off season here. And so we try to use our off season to plan something new for the next year, the upcoming year. And so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that'll be one of the things.
Yep.
Maybe both. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, Sheila.
I don't want to get to the point where I have so much that we can't even go somewhere for the weekend. Like leave the house for 4 or 5 days.
Would love to do meat chickens, but we don't eat enough chicken to justify the work at the moment. Yep, that's a good reason. I mean, raise what you grow, or eat what you eat. Raise what you grow. Yeah, that's a duh. Let's see. Kristen.
Somebody asking Money Pit where they were from.
When do you try to order more seeds for next year? I get most of my seeds from M.I. Gardner, and they usually have their seeds for the next year's growing season. They usually have it in stock in November, but I usually order seeds end of December, 1st of January, just because some of for one, to make sure that I have what I want, and then also because some things where we live we have to start in February, so that's generally when I order my seeds.
So I see we have either Mac or Patty or both on here. Been watching him driving down the road doing karaoke.
Yeah. So now I turn to you.
If you don't watch Southern Blessed Homestead, you're missing out on some fun.
Yep. It was fun.
Well, I don't know if he posted that as a video, but...
No, he didn't. That was
No.
just on his, I think that was on his private
okay.
Facebook page. So much fun.
So Money Pit's going to be doing another 98 meat chickens in a couple of weeks.
Awesome.
Wow. And we're welcome to come over and help.
I don't know if they're talking to us. They might be talking to somebody else in the chat.
I don't know.
Thank you. Kathy shared my code for M.I. Gardner. If you want to save 10% off of your purchase, it is TCW10. You put it in the code, coupon code, TCW10 all together, and it will knock 10% off of your order.
So if a pack of seeds cost $1, it's 90 cents.
Well, it's 99 cents, and then...
So it's 88 cents.
Yeah. So,
89. It's 99 cents a pack?
yeah,
So 10 cents off.
pretty much.
So it's Patty, not Mac.
Let's...
Patty's watching.
Oh, hey, Patty. Patty's funny. Let's see. He is doing boring
They're
work,
nice
reading a manual.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Nancy.
Let's see what else we got going on here.
Jumped on here late, but in regards to cold weather prep, just bought a Champion 3650 running watt inverter from Tractor Supply. We shall see how well it works out. Very cool.
Yeah, and that is another thing when you get to talking about generators. There's, you got your generators, and then you got your inverters or generator inverters, and then some are rated. I can't remember what the term is, but it's better if you want to hook up electronics to it. It has, I can't think of the term now, but
See, I had this
a regular generator, there's not much. I don't know. You might blow something with the electronics. I can't remember what the term is, but somebody had come up with it. Because I can't think right now.
Vicky, you just reminded me of my other show and tell.
Oh yeah.
I actually got an M.I. Gardner. I got my shipment today. This is some stuff that I ordered back a couple of weeks ago.
You got this literally 15 minutes before we went live.
Yep. So let me show y'all what I got. All right.
Pure wave. I think that might be the term. Yeah, pure wave inverter.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 packages of Blue Lake pole beans. We always grow bush beans, but I'm not having a lot of luck here lately with bush beans. So we're gonna try pole beans. Blue Lake pole beans. And this is something that several of y'all, especially Rachel at 1870s Homestead, that keeps saying, you really need to grow this in your garden. And Kathy from North Star Prep Center has also said this. You really need to grow this in your garden. The bees love it, and it's so good for you. Forage. So I finally got some of that. And the piece de la resistance, the thing that I am the most excited about, because it is now the perfect time to plant. Just shred into it.
Yeah. This is the one thing we got to get planted.
Oh, garlic.
Yeah, somebody's already said garlic.
Yep.
Kevin's Essentials is on it. So yeah, we got a whole pack of it here.
I got 4
Ready to
heads. I got 4 heads. I thought 1 per family member. But this is what is the variety I got? German extra hardy hardneck garlic. And the reason why I got, this last time I grew soft neck because I wanted to braid it, and I did, and it was beautiful, and it was awesome. Beautiful. But this time I got the hardneck because the hardneck grows scapes that you can eat, where soft neck doesn't. So I went ahead and got a hardneck variety, and someone was telling me that
That's what Kathy got too.
Yeah, and someone was telling me that you can still braid hardneck.
Yeah, you got to keep those vampires away.
Yes.
I mean, we got our elderberry, we got our fire cider, we got our garlic. I mean, at least we're not gonna get attacked.
Yep.
By any vampires this winter.
Well, I'm excited. We got a lot of good things.
Pour that fire cider in a squirt gun and just get those vampires. Because it's got garlic in it too, right?
It does.
Yeah.
I have to show y'all this really quick. My son picked me this sweet little wildflower bouquet. I thought that was so sweet. He's almost 15, and he did something so sweet for his mama.
I think he heard you talking about him.
Uh-oh. No.
He's like, what?
Are you getting you some more water? Will you get me some, please?
The kid's grown like 1.5 feet in the last 3 weeks,
yes.
I think. Look at that.
Yep, we've had to get him. Yeah. I know, it looks like well, I don't want to say a man walking through there.
Looked like Paul Bunyan just walked through our screen here.
It's so weird.
Borage is really good as a companion plant for tomatoes and basil.
Yes, perfect.
Brings in lots of pollinators.
Thank you, son.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's good because I do all of those things. Yes, sun bouquets are the best, and it's been a very long time since he's done that, so that was very sweet. Let's plant your garlic now.
Let's see,
yes.
I'm trying to think. Did we cover everything that we have been talking about for cold weather season before winter gets here?
I think so. But yes, I planted my garlic in October of last year and got it in the spring. I'm telling you what, that is some of the most satisfying stuff. It's planting it.
It's really cool that it
waiting and waiting.
Well, it's really cool that it wintered so well.
Well, that's what it does. It actually needs the cold weather.
It's really cool that it does that, though.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it starts warming up, I mean, you think it's dead. And then as soon as it warms up, I mean, it just...
Yeah.
It revives quickly. And just like, oh.
Yes, Nancy, that's how we grew ours this past year, and it did beautifully. It did absolutely beautifully. In the growing garlic in the raised bed.
Yeah, our raised beds did really well for the garlic.
Yes.
Really well for the garlic.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, there's certain items that we have learned over the years that do really good in raised beds.
At least for us.
And then there's some things that we have learned don't do as good in our raised beds, but do a lot better in our in-ground garden.
Aww.
Isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, there's some things that we have definitely been making notes of that for us, and it could just be the way that we're doing it. It could just be our soil or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of things that are making mental notes that we're going to grow in the ground and not in the raised beds.
So you really... Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I mean, depending on your region, where you're from, what kind of soil you've got, and then how you do your raised bed soil, everybody's going to have different results. So we have found out what is working for us and what we have. So we're just kind of tweaking it each year, knowing that we got to put some in the raised beds and some not in the raised beds.
Yeah. Yep. So we know, for me, the things that do the best in the raised bed so far have been greens, radishes, beets,
Peppers, or jalapenos.
Our jalapenos. The bell peppers tend to do better in the ground. I think they just get more of what they need, I guess.
Banana peppers and jalapenos do great in our raised beds.
They do great in the raised beds,
Yep.
yeah. And let's see. Well, squash does really good in the ground, but then that one squash plant that I planted at the end of the bed, the patty pan squash, I cannot get over how much food we got from that one
The squash has
plant.
done decent in both.
Yeah, but better in the ground though.
I'm thinking we might need to switch our cucumbers to our in-ground garden.
Definitely.
Our cucumbers they're not doing that great in the raised beds.
They seem to get diseased quicker in the raised beds.
They dry out faster.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see. What grows best for you? Oh, versus raised bed, yeah. Let's see. I know. Coming out. Okay. But your raised beds don't have a bottom. They're in the ground just with added soil.
What's that?
Right. Yes, they do not have a bottom. We did put down cardboard, but the cardboard is broken down.
It's all composted by now, but yeah.
We are going to amend the soil, and I think this year Mike gave us some vermiculite and some
Peat moss.
it was that all-purpose mix, and I think it's got like the potash and the peat moss and stuff like that. So we're gonna try that out when we top it off with compost and everything, when we amend it in the spring.
Yeah, and it's not really added
we'll see
soil.
how that does.
We didn't really add soil
We
to
just
the
did
raised
straight
beds. We did
compost.
straight compost. And we're also trying to make a little bit of our own compost out here too. Chickens are starting to help with that now.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, we didn't put dirt.
Right.
We put compost in it. So it's straight up compost.
Yeah. And I'm really hoping our compost guy is back in business this coming spring, but I don't know. I haven't talked to him this fall.
He had a off year. One of his people was doing
All of his people.
Yeah. But he's wanting to be back. So if he's back, we're going to get some good compost from him.
Yeah. Hey,
If not,
JRC.
we'll find it somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, we got from Mike.
Well, I got some
For this
from
year.
Royal King too. I went and bought
Oh
several
yeah,
bags.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Let's see.
Because we were running low and needed to top off some.
Yeah. Yep. So just like everybody else, we're learning more every year. And it's funny how, we've been gardening for how many years now? 8 years?
Yep.
And I don't know, for some reason, like, even though I know things, I really feel like I don't ever know everything that I need to know.
No.
That doesn't make any sense. But you know what I'm saying.
That's the
You
one.
never arrive when it comes to gardening. There's always something else to learn.
Well, that's correct. And I think that's life in general.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody needs to continue learning all the time. Some things I know a lot more about. Some things I wish I knew more about.
Yeah. Monica said that her tomatoes are still producing. I think it's too cold, and I actually have a tomato plant that's a volunteer in my herb bed.
Yeah.
That has some little ones on there. I'm just gonna pick them and bring them inside. They're done.
I guess there's 3 things that are still growing
Never stop
really
growing.
well. Everything's done for the year in our garden except 3 things. We're still getting jalapenos.
Well, they're done.
Jalapeno. But you picked a bunch just,
Yes.
2 days ago?
Yes, and there's
A
still
whole basket full.
Yeah, and there's still some small ones on the vine, but
Banana peppers.
It's too cold now for them to.
Banana
do anything.
peppers are still producing.
Yeah.
So those 2 pepper plants are still producing. And then our herb garden
The herbs are herbs are still doing
is
good.
still doing great. Everything else, the season's over.
Yeah.
And we've cleaned out most of it already.
Oh yeah, yeah. Pretty much what you just mentioned is what's left.
And you are trying to, you've left some okra plants out there that you're going to harvest for seeds.
Yes, I have okra, like you said, that I've let go to seed. We're letting those dry out before we bring them in. I'm harvesting pinto beans and purple hull peas for seeds. And then, of course, like you said, our herbs. And I'm trying to get in as many herbs as I can so that way I can use my homegrown herbs throughout the winter. So yeah, I never really cared for herbs before, at least I don't think I did. But now I love having my own homegrown herbs. Like I'm obsessed and I want to grow all the herbs.
I will say, when she goes out and picks a lot of basil
Yeah.
and brings it into the kitchen and whatever she's doing with it, I come in the house at the end of the day, smells great.
It does.
It smells wonderful. I love the fragrance of basil in the house.
Yeah, I do too. It's one of my favorite scents.
Yep.
But yeah, I've got a couple of huge bouquets over in this corner over here. And I'm going to be dehydrating those. But
it's making me crave some lemonade.
Oh, some basil lemonade?
With basil in it.
Yeah.
That stuff's the bomb. That is a great basil lemonade.
And I was talking with Patty when she was here about using lemon balm. Most people consume that as a tea. You dry it and then pour hot water over it, let it steep, and then drink it as a tea. And so, yeah, I'm like, I really should do that more. I know a lot of people that like to have a cup of hot tea before they go to bed, like herbal teas, just because it's good for your health and helps you sleep. And I've never really done that, so I'm gonna try to get into doing that. But let's see, I just started basil seeds to grow indoors. Awesome. Love it, love it. Okay.
Yeah.
As for pumpkins, my June May, June, depending on your pumpkins. Yeah. Oh, I didn't tell y'all. I went to my Amish friend that lives down the road here, and just to see what they had, because it's the end of their season too, and they usually close up and then they don't reopen until spring. So I knew it was getting close to the end, so I went to see what she had, and she had pumpkins for $1 a piece. And so I bought the last 4 that she had. 2 of them were one had a hole in it and it was getting like kind of goopy, and the other one I knew was kind of starting to rot. So I went ahead and just gave them to the chickens, and I'm like,
chicken treat.
Yeah, for $1.
Yeah.
I'm super pumped about that. But 2 of them are in really good shape and they're beautiful.
Yeah.
So we're going to use those for decoration, and then we'll roast them.
So Mandy says lemon balm also makes a nice bath soak mixed with Epsom salts.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Dehydrated.
Okay.
And then mixed with Epsom salts.
Yeah, I cannot believe the first time that I grew lemon balm, I grew it in a pot. So, obviously it didn't get as big as it could. This time I'm growing it in the raised bed, and this one little teeny tiny, when I planted it, it was this big. It is now, it's taken over that whole side of the raised bed. So I definitely have all the lemon balm.
Heaven's Essential says, tell Mac to wake up. I thought he was reading the manual. Did he go to sleep? Did he go to sleep reading the manual?
That's funny. He is sleeping through a manual for a project.
He's learning by osmosis, okay?
There you go.
Yeah.
Did you save any seeds?
That was my excuse in high school.
No, I didn't save any of the pumpkin seeds from those pumpkins since they were kind of starting to rot. I might with the 2 that I
still
have
left.
The
2, yeah.
Yeah, we might do that. But yes, I also have 2 sunflower heads that I need to get the seeds off to save. But yeah, I really tried to save more seeds this year, and I succeeded. I definitely did more than I did last year. So.
I don't know if it's just because where we live at now, but it seems like a lot of people around here have a huge harvest of pumpkins this year. There's people everywhere with pumpkins for sale.
Hey, bub.
Just in their front yard or next to their driveway, or a lot of farmland around here. A lot of pumpkins for sale, and a plethora of hay.
Yeah.
Season's been really good, and I think with everybody kind of prepping or preparing, just with all the uncertainty of everything that's been going on this year, I think the farmers have been blessed with a good, growing season here, and man, they're putting up the hay like crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Somebody asked if garlic needs to be covered by plastic to grow. No. I literally planted the garlic the way you're supposed to, and then left it alone until it was time to harvest.
I think
I did nothing to it.
Didn't we put some straw over it in the winter? I think we might have covered it with some straw.
Maybe we did,
I
or
think we
leaves
did.
or something. But
Leaves or straw.
You don't have to. You don't have to. It's supposed to be cold. It has to get cold. It's called stratification, I think. But it has to have that cold snap to grow.
I know we did put a bunch of leaves on them. I want to say we might have put a little bit of straw on them too, but because we've got some big oak trees out in the backyard, and when the leaves fall, I was trying to bag all that up and put on our raised beds.
Yeah.
Let that break down over the winter.
Yeah. Patty said, I will have basil, zinnias, and lemon balm everywhere next year to reseeded. It's funny because Parker was outside. This was a few days ago when it was still kind of warm outside, and he came and he goes, I am getting eaten up. And I said, go over and get that lemon balm and rub it all over you. I said, it'll keep the bugs off. So he did. But yeah, that's one of the cool things about having stuff like that in the yard. You can go out there and you can eat it and you can rub it all over you.
Well, man, this hour went by quick.
It really did. But yeah, I do have a garlic planting video that I filmed last year. I can't read the rest of that. But anyway, so yeah, if you've never planted garlic, it's not an in-depth. Okay. Whew.
Sorry about that. I had a message, but I couldn't check it.
Mike, send it to me.
Yeah, don't send it to my phone, send it to her phone.
Yeah. But anyway, what was I saying?
I think there's something we're supposed to, I don't know. But yeah, you better send it to her real quick, because we're getting ready to end our show. And I think there's maybe something we need to know.
Anyway, so my garlic video is not in depth, but it's basic. So if you've never planted garlic before, you can watch that.
Let's see, oh, thanks, Kathy. She just posted Mike's channel. Again, he has no videos out currently.
Mandy said, Mike.
Yeah, that was my fault. I was trying to read the message, and I didn't know it would pause our video.
Whoop. Okay.
Thanks.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, so on Wilderness Survival Simplified, what are some videos that y'all suggest that he could make starting out of the gate? What would y'all like to see over there?
Along the survival, prepping, bushcrafting path.
Yeah.
I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might come up with some ideas for him.
He knows everything. So ask him all the things.
You're welcome, Mike. He taught some really cool classes to the youth at our church, and the teenagers were really getting into it.
Sure you do, Mike.
Building shelters.
Y'all should see the greenhouse that he built. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. Homemade or pre-made. How to purify water. Oh, Mike knows how to boil water in a plastic bottle. To purify it.
Yeah.
So that would be a really cool video.
Yeah.
He's building a rocket stove. He can do that.
I think, the rocket stove thing is something that we were actually talking about yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing a rocket stove. And I think one thing that went over really well when he was teaching our kids was making char cloth. We made our own char cloth, and then we used flint and steel to ignite the char cloth, but we had to go around and collect material and make what we call the bird's nest. You know, with the pine shavings and just anything we could, and then actually start a fire doing that. So that was really cool. That was a really good lesson. I think that would make a great video.
Yeah, Little Dragonfly said it's so important for people to know, and it really is. So yeah, I think all of those suggestions are really good.
Yeah, and he can start a fire in the pouring down rain.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see, how to start a small fire with when everything is soaking wet, which is what you were just saying. So purifying water, starting a fire in the pouring down rain. What was somebody else had mentioned?
Yeah, actually yesterday, well, we're gonna post a video he did yesterday of talking about different types of fire starters.
Yes.
Things to have on hand to help you get a fire going. And he also had a whole box of water purifiers, the different things you can buy, the different things, you know, but, you know, we'll leave that for another time, or that may be something he can do on his own. Or we can get together and film it and put it on his channel.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he'll do lots of his own things, and then we'll get together and collaborate again. That'd be awesome.
Cooking on a fire, yeah, and that's something I love to do. I need to get back into that myself.
Well, the weather's just perfect.
I know. That's another reason I love this cool weather, is because
Wolf said shelter.
we get the fire pit going, start cooking outside.
Yeah, so Wolf said shelters would be a good video. I agree with that. The rocket stove. I know Rocket Man, right? Let's see. Hey, Nikki, have a huge lemon basil and Tulsi basil that I don't know what to do with. I was just watching Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, and holy basil is another word for Tulsi basil. And what was she making with it?
Alternate heat.
She was making something.
That's an interesting subject.
But yeah, Nikki, check out Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. Stacy does a lot of things with herbs. So I know she's got some stuff about holy basil. I'm sure she does too with lemon basil. I just can't think of it off the top of my head.
Jenny has a question. Can you homestead on 1 acre?
You sure can.
We got 1 acre.
Yep.
We got 1 acre. We grow almost all of our vegetables and produce, and then we try to.
Well, we're getting there.
Yeah, we're
Anyway.
we're getting very close.
Yeah.
And then we've got our chickens. So man, those chickens any day.
Yeah,
Any day they're gonna start laying.
and there's a lot of people that do more than we're doing on an acre on less than an acre.
Luke,
Yeah.
M.I. Gardner.
Of course, they just bought a house. They
Well,
moved.
yeah, but I mean, he did live on a
third
of an acre, and he produced so much food. He could have fed 4 of our families.
How many raised beds did he have? 12?
12 or 16,
12
something like
raised
that.
beds, and he had fruit trees,
Fruit
and
trees.
berry trees. He has
He had
coffee trees.
He had lots of potted things going around on his back deck
Yeah.
and in his house.
But he also does things with hydroponics down in his basement. I mean,
oh, it was amazing.
there's a lot of things that you can do on a very, very small
and
very small space. But
it's all about just what do you want, what do you need, and what resources do you have. It's do what you can with what you got.
and think outside of the box.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, it's amazing to see what people do on a small.
Oh, Mandy's husband's going on an elk hunt.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
How much meat do you get off of an elk?
A lot.
A lot more than a deer.
Well,
like 3 deer.
Well, yeah, an elk is huge.
I've never seen an elk. I mean, I've seen them on TV and in books, but I've never seen them in person.
We need to go on a trip. We need to go out west.
Well, we have them in Kentucky, don't we? In eastern Kentucky?
Yeah, eastern Kentucky. They now have elk hunts out there, but yeah,
You just
they're
want to go
huge.
out west.
Yeah.
200 pounds. Yeah, that's 2 deer. Wow. Box? What box? My dad hunted for deer and elk for 30 years, and that's some good eating too. I love venison.
We can toddle up north, Kathy's neck of the woods.
Sure could. Max said go to the zoo. Let the husband do all the cleaning. Yeah.
You know you're a homesteader if you go to the zoo and you're like, How can I get that to my house?
Oh no.
I can eat that.
That's a.
When you're going to the zoo and you're looking at the animals saying, you know, that could feed our family for like 3 weeks.
Mike said that y'all can go. Okay. Me and Shannon will go shopping at the Amish salvage
You know
stores.
what?
Y'all go do the hunting thing. Amanda
Or is he
said
talking
come to
about just me
British
and him going
Columbia.
on a trip out west?
I don't know.
Yeah, let's
maybe,
go.
Maybe
Let's
all,
do it.
all of the above. Let's see. I have one anchor, but
Mike, I want to go with you to Alaska.
yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, because I don't want to. I mean, I do, but I don't. I wish Alaska was just up the road.
No, I want to go bad.
I just watched your video for making tomato sauce, first time ever. Pretty sure I messed mine up, but it still saved me since it gave me a good starting point. Oh, good. Thank you. Let's see. Pure natural meat. That's right. I order bison for my English bulldog. Really? I love bulldogs.
cool.
They're so cute.
You know what? We
Ooh,
got into a
alligator.
whole nother cool subject, but
Yeah.
we've gone way over our hour. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up because we still got some things we've got to do here before bedtime. What?
Brush our teeth and change clothes?
No, I got stuff to do. I got laundry to do. I got some stuff to set up.
It is up the road. Yeah, way up the road. I meant
It's just up the road.
just up the road.
We'll go.
All right. Well, you guys, it is always fun talking with y'all, and the hour passes by so fast. But he's right. I've got to get up early. He's got to get up early.
Yeah.
He's got laundry to do. I got to brush my teeth with my.
Yeah, I've still got several hours of stuff to do.
I'm going to bed. So,
All right. Thanks for watching. Hope everybody has a great week. I'll let you sign us off.
all right, guys. Remember to be vigilant, be prayerful, and be prepared. God bless, and good nights.
Good night. God bless. Have a great week. See y'all.